No, we can just start.
Okay.
It's a mess.
Okay. Welcome to our openEUropa podcast. This is Sarah speaking, and today we are with one of our short-term volunteer, Anastas. Hello, Anastas.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fine. Can you present yourself real quick?
Of course. My name is Anastas. I come from Poland.
Mhm.
I will be 20 in 6 days.
Ooh.
Yeah, I will have my birthday here.
Yeah.
And I'm here in Rato for a short-term project. 2
Mhm.
months.
2 months. When are you leaving?
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Are you
Approximately.
excited?
It's a difficult question because, of course, I'm excited to go back to my family and see my support system, friends, partner, etc. On my cat. I'm very excited about meeting my cat again.
Oh, the cute cat.
Yeah, the stupid one.
Yeah.
What else do you need to know about me? What else do you want to know about me?
That's it. Now I want to know, who are you in your country? Not a Polish volunteer. Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
It's a very vague question.
You have some key points to your character, I guess. So take it, answer it.
Okay, I guess I have been involved in social justice since I was 12, so I would consider myself an activist regarding topics like queer or environmental activism or human rights, animal rights, etc., etc.
Okay.
And I use art to activize people. So those two things are very much connected with each other. And I use my knowledge to activate people again. It's not going.
Activate?
Activate. The fuck is that?
I don't know if we say it. I'm sorry.
Again, let's start again.
No, actually, we keep this. We're keeping this because it's funny. I don't know if you say activate, but I think we all understand.
Activize. Activize? You don't know.
Don't ask me. I have no idea.
But
English
yeah,
is not.
except for that, I'm an educator. I do workshops with people. I talk with people. I do materials. I prepare materials for them to learn from them.
Okay. What was the last workshop you did?
It was about inclusive language.
Okay. Do you host a workshop with a lot of people or short group?
Actually, I think that the formula of workshop actually needs to be with not a lot of people, because if it's a big group, it's a lecture.
Yeah.
So I usually, my go-to is like 10 to 15 max people. So I can really do things with them. I can talk with them.
Connect
I can
and
connect.
be more pertinent. Yeah. Okay.
The best idea, the best scenario is like if I know those people. Or maybe not know as friends, but just I know the key points of that people.
Okay, it's working.
Today is chaotic.
Yeah. English is not English.
No.
Okay. How is your Portuguese experience so far?
Hot.
Yeah.
My experience here is hot. I have Siberian roots, so I prefer cold weather.
Okay.
That's when I thrive, actually. And here, experiencing the weather that's like 35 degrees, it's exhausting.
This is a big challenge.
It is a big challenge because I came here to travel a little bit, to actually get new experiences in very new environment. And I feel like my body is not allowing me to do that.
Because of the heat?
Because of the heat.
Okay. You've been traveling a lot last year?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
13 countries, I suppose. Yeah, European
Can you
Union.
list some of them?
Georgia, Latvia, Lithuania, Norway, Finland, Bulgaria.
It's okay.
Okay.
You can stop.
Yeah.
What was your favorite?
Georgia. I fell in love with Georgia, actually.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah, the nature there. Like, you have mountains. Like, for example, I lived in the mountains, and at the same time, I had 5-minute walk to the seaside.
Oh,
so like you have both of best words, and there are animals everywhere. You can see cows everywhere and horses. Even though we live in a bigger city, not a big but bigger city, not a village, you have very tall buildings, and then you just have randomly cows in front of them. It's very funny view, actually.
Okay.
I traveled with Erasmus, like with short term. No, I'm here doing short term with training courses and youth exchanges. And on that training course, we didn't learn a lot. So that my hopes were very high because the topic was very engaging and would be very useful to my work, to my job. But unfortunately, I didn't. it didn't.
So you spent maximum 1 month in this country or less?
I would say 3 weeks. 3 weeks was max in Latvia, yeah.
Is it enough?
Of course not, to discover a country. Like, no.
For a city, is it?
For a city, depends how, if you're an extrovert and if you have energy, because on youth exchanges and training courses we have, it's not a touristic trip, right?
Yeah.
You're learning things, you're talking with people basically all day.
So is it intense?
I would say so, absolutely. Like, you're learning every day for 8 hours, and then in the evenings you have cultural nights.
Okay.
So you are with people constantly. If you want to go outside, you probably will go with people again.
Okay, must be exhausting, but in a good way.
In a good way, I would say, because it is challenging, but in a very good sense, in terms of hearing a lot of point of views of people. You're experiencing people that in normal life in terms of sitting in your city or country, you wouldn't have a chance to meet. So right now I have friends and people that I know in all of the countries in Europe, I would say, and in every bigger city.
Yeah.
So it's nice because if I want to go to one particular place, I can just text them and I know I will have a place to stay.
This is good.
This is couch surfing, but made it friends.
But you know them, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Which country has the warmest people?
Warmest people?
Yeah.
That's an interesting question because I don't really talk with the locals a lot.
Okay.
Because when we go on this type of trips, we are just 30, 50 people from different countries. Very international gathering. But we usually don't talk with locals. It's like we are sitting in our place, I would say. Like, we don't go outside too much. That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
No, I would say I would go with Georgia again, because even though they locals were usually older people, like I say older, more than 50, they were so heartwarming and they didn't speak English. I don't speak Russian that much, but we found common ground to talk and to buy cigarettes and bread and etc. etc.
This is what is beautiful to me, like trying to find a common ground.
Right.
Most delicious food? Will you go for Georgia again?
I will go for Georgia.
Yeah?
Absolutely, I will go for Georgia.
I never
cheese.
tried. Never tried.
Do you like goat cheese?
Yeah.
Okay, so you should go there. Like goat milk, goat cheese. If you like coriander, that would be a heaven to you. I don't. So that was not very nice surprise, but except for that, everything is with cheese and the bread is amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
I should try.
But I also go with Latvian food. That's quite nice. Latvian food from Latvia.
Okay. What is a typical dish? The face you made. The face you made is hilarious.
I would say cooked vegetables.
Ooh, again?
Cooked vegetables with sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce. You can say
sauce?
Yeah,
you can say. In French you can. Then you can.
In Polish you also can. So
then you can everywhere. It's okay. Okay. Vegetables with sauce. Okay, thank you.
And that was a very good sauce.
Okay.
You asked the wrong question, actually.
Because wow. I have one last question regarding your travels.
Yeah.
Since you've been going from places to places, do you have a routine when you arrive in a country?
Go to sleep.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
No matter when I arrived at the city, I will just take shower and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because I'm
as you should.
As I should, actually. And I actually try to maintain my routine of going to sleep maximum at 1 a.m. It's my maximum when I'm traveling. Since I have been doing that for a year and a half.
Okay.
It's not unusual to me to do Erasmus Plus exchanges. So I understand that people are very excited about that and they will stay up for the whole youth exchange. But it would kill me.
You need your grandma sleep, actually.
I need my grandma sleep. Like Sarah knows me. I go to sleep at
11.
Yeah, and that's my maximum. I take care of my body, okay?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Now I want to talk about your artistic side.
My artistic side?
Yeah. So as an artist, what sets your creativity?
Talking with people.
Yeah.
Hearing stories. In future, I would like to call myself a storyteller. I love to gather stories, and that's what makes me excited, actually, that I can hear perspectives of people that I normally wouldn't understand from my point of view.
Okay. So you want to open your mind to the maximum?
Let's say to the maximum.
To the fullest?
To the fullest, yeah. And hearing those stories, and it's so delicate and tender. And when people actually speak from their heart, it's like you're, I don't know, it's so delicate.
Like a warm hug.
Like a warm hug, like a very small baby in your hands.
Yeah. This is deep.
It might be. But also experiencing life from my perspective. Like, I think because of I was traveling and changing places, changing, you can say even weather, right? Because, for example, in December, I was in Finland, minus 18 degrees. And then we are here and it's like 35.
Yeah.
It can be challenging. So seeing how my body is adapting to it, how my body is changing through eating very different food.
Do you feel strong?
Do I feel strong?
Yeah.
Define strong.
Like your body can do anything.
No.
You feel challenged?
I'm grateful for my body, but I'm trying to take care of it as much as possible, because I know for example, I'm still 19 and I'm still growing. So
true, I forget.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to eat nutritious food, and here it's not happening very much. But usually I try it to happen. But I walk a lot. So walking, since I cannot, for example, sign up for a gym, because I don't have time for that, because I'm not staying at one place for that long period of time. So doing things on my own.
Okay. Can you talk to us about your last artistic project or exhibition? That
I did, or I will be doing?
Both.
Okay. Please. So my last... my last... Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to cough for half an hour,
You can cough. Feel free.
Please proceed.
Okay. So it's an art exhibition about... It's collective art exhibition. It's in Poland, so if I need to translate the title, it will be like, "Don't make it up, you will get over it." Artists that I am collaborating with, all of them are trans or non-binary.
Okay.
And the exhibition is telling story about different experiences of growing up and experiencing things as a trans person in Poland. And I did a sculpture there. It's actually my breasts.
Yeah.
And it's connected with how social norms are put on you, and what does it mean to look non-binary. Is there one specific look in order you to look? Do you need to look non-binary? Do you need to look trans? What does it mean, basically? Okay. And the one I will be doing, as soon as I go back to Poland, actually 2 days after I arrive, I will be doing a performance connected with what does home really mean, home/house. I try my art. I try to make my art more politically involved. So it's about how politicians in Poland are not the best. Let's put it that way.
Let's keep it like that.
Yeah, and the propaganda is happening, and queer people are not treated as people. Basically, people are saying that we are ideology and people.
Okay.
And because of that, a lot of young queers are losing homes because parents are throwing them out.
Okay.
So I will be doing a performance to honor that, to actually welcome all those queers and make a space for them.
It is beautiful.
Thank you.
I want to see it. Are you going to film it?
I hope so. 100% there will be pictures from it.
Okay. Then I will see it
I will
time.
send it to you.
Yes, please. Thank you. I want to ask you what your favorite moment was in Portugal. Because you're living in 2 weeks. Something good must happen.
Yeah, it happened actually.
Yeah.
I went to Sintra the other day. It was in Almada, it was like 32 degrees. But in Sintra, it was 22. So very much drop of temperature.
Breathing, finally.
Yeah, it was cool. I loved it. But the thing that I enjoyed the most was the beach. It was the first time of me seeing the fog on the beach.
Okay.
and the view was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And I was so fresh because of the weather, actually. I was enjoying myself completely. And then I saw two dogs playing with each other and playing with people. They went back and forth for the ocean and for the sand. So they looked very dirty, but they looked so happy and so youthful, and they had the energy. And they actually ran onto me. They smiled at me and then ran again. So that was very wholesome moment.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was going to say. This
Yeah.
is the word.
But the other one, I went to Caldas. I think that's how we pronounce it.
I don't know.
Let's
Looking
say-
at the
let's
Portuguese
say
guy in the corner,
Caldas.
is it?
Okay, so let's say that's a good way to pronounce it.
Yeah.
To see a person, to see a friend, and I spent some time with them, and I went on to a small gathering of friends, and we played charades. We drank very cute drinks. Every type of drink represented a different person in that room.
Yeah.
So it was lovely. We played cards, we laughed till 3 a.m. and we listened to music. And it was my first time in Portugal when I felt the sense of belonging and that I might have found a sense of community. Like, I didn't know those people 8 hours before, but I was there laughing with them and enjoying myself completely. It was lovely. It was splendid, beautiful, gorgeous.
Outstanding. Majestic.
Out of this world.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you understand.
Yeah.
It was so tender, and I will think about it for a long time, I think.
What will you take with you when you go back to Poland from Portugal? What will you take?
I will take how important it is to have a community, how much I love my people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's my first time that I left my community for so long.
Okay.
2 months are very long to me here. I'm homesick. I'm not closed about that. I'm very much open. And I feel loved here, even though we have such long distance between us. I still feel loved, and I feel that they care for me and about me. So I think I needed to lose it to find it. Very, very
the cliche.
The cliche, but
It's
working here.
Yeah.
You can apply to that situation. But also what I don't want to do in the future. I know that work from 8 to 5, 9 to 5 is absolutely not working for me.
Okay.
That I am very much more productive the way I am working, that being a freelancer is the best for me. Dutch hot countries are not good for my health.
Really not.
And actually, after this project, my short term here, I'm doing my long term in Lithuania, and I'm so excited about that.
For how long?
1 year.
Ooh.
Yeah. In art gallery.
Okay. What will you do exactly?
I will be actually I don't know, to be honest. They gave me freedom to do that. It's like they want to meet me. I already met them, but they want to get to know me more. And completely freedom. If I see that something needs to be taken care of, I will do that. I will be working with trans kids, queer community, doing artsy stuff as I do right now, as I have been doing in Poland. Organizing events.
That's good.
Yeah, doing projects.
Yeah.
That
they're giving you room to create something.
Yes, it's like if they see that I am excited about something, I should do it.
Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for you.
I can't wait for it either.
Do you have one more message for the people who will listen?
I love my mom so much. I love my partner,
Who
my
else?
friends. No, but actually, I don't know. I feel very dumb in this country, actually.
Dumb?
No, dumb. Really dumb. I think like the heat is frying my brain and all of my energy is going to sustain my body to be alive.
Surviving.
Yeah, surviving.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Come to Portugal if you like heat.
Okay, thank you, Anastas.
Thank you.
Bye.